Now we've already heard nonsense come out the Poor Minds podcast. We've heard. I'm talking about like this is like people talk about the fresh and fit chicks, but these in the whatever podcast chicks, but these chicks right here, these be the chicks that would show up on Zoe Williams show and just talk nonsense. This is like these are the people that I will never debate because they're the stuff that they say. Just take a listen. Just take a listen. First of all, you got if it's BW's talking on a podcast, Mike. First of all, if it's women talk, if it's a whole group of women talking and they think they're making sense, is usually going to be some nonsense. I'm talking about like I'm talking about pure nonsense where it's crazy. You'll the stuff that you when you have a group of women talking, you're going to hear the most nonsensical things that you'll ever hear in your life. And I stand on that because I've seen that from elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and it don't matter how old they get. Work at your work at the senior citizens home, when it's a group of women together talking, it's not it's going to be nonsense. It's going to be nonsense. So let's take a listen to what this broad has to say here. Hopefully the speed of the video should still be regular. Okay, cool. Here we go. So we had a guest. Oh, hold on. My volume was way too low for some weird reason. Oh, man, what are we doing? And she sat on the couch and she said, "Sorry, guys. Let me put the volume up. They just wouldn't." Here we go. We had a guest came and she sat on the couch and she said, "If you make $50,000 a year, you do not need to date." When you saw that clip, what was your first thought?
Yeah, I felt sad for her.
You felt sad for her.
When you put a price tag on someone's happiness and someone's connection with somebody else, you're letting capitalism, Western European capitalism, denote whether or not someone can be happy. 50,000 in white man's dollars. Not how we look at it.
African Americans, we're the only ones who make this a big deal. It's kind of like with other races, it's your birthright.
What's your birthright?
Like as a woman, to date a man who is going to take care of you.
Financial security is one aspect of how somebody makes you feel. I know women right now that are in relationships with guys who are really rich and they feel completely insecure because they know that this guy's fucking a lot of different women. They know that there's a price for how they feel about that.
Finances don't need to be the most important thing in a relationship, but we're not going to.
We had a guest came and she sat on the couch and she said, "You see what I mean? Just the nonsense. The nonsense. It should be your. It's what did she say? It's a woman's birthright to be taken care of." Imagine if a man came up. Imagine ain't this the stuff what they saying that quote unquote incels are saying? The way they portrayed on TV, they make it seem like incels are like, it's our birthright to have sex. I've literally seen clips on TV where they had the TV incels saying that this is literally the opposite. On the opposite end of the spectrum, it's a woman's birthright to be taken care of. According to who? Let's take a listen one more time. Let's speed it up and let's dissect what they're saying. We had a guest came and she sat on the couch and she said, "If you make $50,000 a year, you do not need to date." Yeah, so I don't know if you guys remember. Let me back it up. Last year, I covered a video on her, and she was the fat chick on the left right here, and she was talking nonsense. She don't even realize who she is. Like Corey Holcomb would call this chick the bottom of the ninth chicks, right? And in the book of Coreyisms, right? The book of Corinthians, right? Corey describes these chicks. These are the chicks that you call when there's nobody else will answer the call. And the you know, it's 2 a.m. at the club. You can't find nobody else to bring home. Then you call her. You know what I mean? So the bottom of the ninth chicks. That's who you call when there's literally nobody else. But for some reason, these chicks at the bottom have the most to say. So I remember she was talking about, yeah, don't date if you earn less than 50K. You can't treat me like the other bitches. And I'm just like, you should be lucky that you even. Anyway, I don't want to get me, but I covered a chick on this a video on that chick already. So that's all I wanted to put out there.
I need to
It was
date.
like somewhere last year. I don't remember what day, but I did cover that chick.
When you saw that clip, what was your first thought?
Yeah.
I felt sad for her.
You felt sad for her.
When you put a price tag on someone's happiness and someone's connection with somebody else, you're letting capitalism, Western European capitalism, denote whether or not someone can be happy. 50,000 in white man's dollars. Not how we look at it.
African American.
Now, just to let you guys know, I feel bad for the black men that have fallen for the black women or women in general that have been pushing this commie nonsense, socialism. I hope you know that, yeah, women are quote unquote socialists. Yes. So they're always going to push that, but they're capitalists. They're capitalists at the same time. Meaning, I'm talking about when it comes to sexually, they are obviously hypergamous, but they don't look at, when it comes to sex, when it comes to picking a mate, they're not looking at it. Socialism and communism goes out the window once they be going to their sugar daddies, right? Or when they're going out to these NBA All-Star games, right? These places, all of that goes out the window. The only time where money, that they're not looking for, the money or the physical aspect, is when they're dealing with drug dealers and criminals in general. That's the only time they make exception. If it's not drug dealers or criminals, then there's like, okay, let me look at the athletes, the men with money, many means, the finance bros, right? These people, that's the only, then they're back to capitalism mode, right? So I feel bad for the men that have fallen for it, people of the BLM movement, the people that, like, because there are many men now that fell for it, and they're like mad at women now because they realize that, guys, okay, say if most men fall for the socialism stuff and start agreeing with that stuff, there's still women like that are still going to be sexually looking for men that make more money than her. Women are not looking for equality. First of all, the mates that they want are not equal to them. They're like, the mates that they want are people that are just completely just better than them. And just in general, they want to be dominated. So you coming in with this equality stuff, this is why you think all these women are like, why are all the men looking for 50-50? But that's what you said you wanted, equality. But that was the lie. You weren't looking for equality. When it comes to 50-50, they're not talking, women are not talking about, oh, I want to help you share the bills. No. Women are not looking for 50-50, guys. Yes, they're socialists, or you can say they're socialists by nature, but sexually they're capitalists. Oh man, it's crazy.
And we're the only ones who make this a big deal. It's kind of like with other races, it's your birthright.
What's your birthright?
Like, as a woman, to date a man who is willing to take care of you.
Financial security.
It's not, first of all, in other races, no, it's not your birthright. You have to compete to get your man. It's up to the woman to keep the man. The man, I'm in firm belief of this. I said this in another video. It's supposed to be the woman working for the man. The woman has to do everything in his power to keep the man, because women are great in numbers. I'm talking about what they way outnumber men. So then you got to take out the gays, right? The men that aren't attractive, the men that are bums, the men. So you take all this out and all the filtering that women do for men. If a woman finds a man that she wants to be with, she has to do everything in her power to keep him, not the other way around. Because just off the numbers, just off numbers alone, it's not supposed to be men entertaining the woman. The women have to be entertaining the men.
Is one aspect of how somebody makes you feel. I know women right now that are in relationships with guys who are really rich, and they feel completely insecure because they know that this guy's fucking a lot of different women. They know that there's a price for how they feel about that.
Finances don't need to be the most important thing in a relationship, but we're not going to.
We had a guest.
So for her to say it's birthright, when dealing with other races of women, no, you have to. Anyway, let's look at the comments. If we can find the comments of this real quick. Let's take a look. He says, she said, birthright. Other cultures do tell women they should find a man to take care of them. They also learn from birth how to treat said man and how to obtain men that takes care of them. But I'm just wondering, like, if there was a video of an incel saying that sex is our birthright, they would be broadcasting that video to make, and they would put it under, you see, the red pill incels. That's what it would do. So, but bitches will say stuff like this, and then they'll just, and it's like, bro, are you serious? But like I said, this is the nonsense that, you know, this is the nonsense when it comes to dealing with certain people, man.